I'm Allison. I'm here to share my testimony today. I've always admired the people who can point to one exact moment where everything changed. One big, dramatic faith encounter that shifted their whole life. But if I'm being honest, that's not my story. I didn't have a lightning bolt moment or a life-changing revelation. My faith didn't arrive all at once. Instead, it grew quietly, steadily through the mix of two very different worlds. I was raised Catholic by a Catholic mom, and then my father was Jewish. So my household, especially during the holidays, was very interesting. I grew up Catholic and learned who Jesus was from a young age. I always believed in him, but I also always had a lot of questions when it came to the Catholic faith. And I always felt that I belonged elsewhere. Finding LifeSpring was such a blessing. A few years ago, as an adult, I made the choice to be baptized. I wanted to be baptized as a Christian, not because someone told me to, or because it was expected, but because I felt it was important. I felt it mattered to publicly declare the faith that I had quietly been building my entire life. And in that moment, even without the fireworks or the dramatic story, I knew I was born again. My faith journey has always been less about one big moment and more about little moments, little nudges, little confirmations, little steps of obedience. And one of the biggest parts of my story has been how I've tried to share my faith with people that I love. For the first 12 years of our marriage, I made this a mission to get my husband, Chris, to walk into a church with me. Not because I wanted to win the church argument, but because I knew what faith had done in me, and I knew the peace, the purpose, and the hope it brought. And I wanted him to have that too. There were multiple times it felt impossible. There were times I wondered if my prayers were going anywhere, but God was moving long before I could see it. And now, after praying, nudging, inviting, and sometimes patiently waiting, well, Chris is about to give another sermon tonight. So no, my story isn't dramatic. It doesn't have one big moment, but it does have a lot of Jesus. It has steady growth, quiet questions, answered prayers, and a family transformed. My faith wasn't found in a single moment. It was built over a lifetime, and God has been faithful through every step.